of the things that we really need to touch upon is pension reform. And I understand that we have two versions here. So this question is really for Jeff, Adachi, and Ed Lee. Can you explain why your version is better than the other? So why don't we start with Ed Lee?
Proposition C is the city-sponsored pension reform this year on the November ballot. It received unanimous support at the Board of Supervisors and virtually every elected official, including, of course, myself and all of the supervisors. Proposition C is successful because it will save us $1.3 billion in the next 10 years in savings. It is a balanced approach because it ends spiking and it ends the kinds of things that happen in our pension system that cause a lot of increases to happen. More importantly, it also has the consensus of labor here in San Francisco. That's very important because what we worked on for solid 6 months with the Board of Supervisors was to bring the city family together to get a consensus, agreed upon fashion to do that. That's why they'll succeed.
Thank you. Jeff?
Yeah, Proposition D is better because it saves $400 million more. That would pay for the mayor's street bond. He wants to borrow $500 million so we could have $250 million to fix our streets, and the sales tax that everyone's going to pay. The reality is that we got into a situation where our pension costs are going through the roof, up about $100 million a year. And why would you trust the same people who created the problem to fix it? In addition, Mayor Lee entered a side deal with the highest paid city employees that's going to cost you, the taxpayers, $200 million in the next 10 years. If you call that a deal, if you like that, you want more of that, vote for Proposition C. If you want real change, vote for Prop D.
Thank you. Tony, how you want to jump in?
Boy, I never thought you'd call on me. You know, I'm a little disappointed in the format here tonight. I really am. Give us the time to explain a few things because there's 3 or 4 other things we could have got to. Pension reform, don't be fooled, folks. Ed Lee's Prop C is nothing but a union-dictated plan that services the unions and not you, the common folk. It saves about $50 million a year. He himself said it should save $300 million a year, and he backed down to 50. Jeff's plan is about 10% better. It's like we're running into a brick wall. We're driving there at 100 miles an hour. Ed Lee's plan, we hit the wall at 95 miles an hour. Jeff's plan, we hit it at 90 miles an hour. The only way that's going to avoid us hitting bankruptcy in 7 years, using dirt figures, a $7 billion unfunded liability, is for total pension and health care reform for all new employees that defines contributions and 401k options. That's the only sensible and intelligent way to avoid bankruptcy. In other cities across the country, you're doing it rather than floating phony ballot propositions.
Thank you. I want to hear from you, Joanna. What's your point of view?
So I respect that that both groups have worked on this issue and are trying to put forward reform. The thing that people need to be aware of in both measures is the expected return on the invested portfolio in both plans is 7.75% return. We have achieved on average 2.8% for the last 10 years. So I think everyone understands compounded interest. If you put your money in the bank at 2%, you get one number. If you put it in the bank at 7%, you get a much higher number. We cannot plan for both of these initiatives with that high level of expected invested return when we haven't achieved that. They should be planned at what we've averaged over the last 10 years, and if we outperform that, then we should put money into reserves.
It bothers me that the deputy chief in 2009 made $567,000. His retirement is more or less about $300,000. That's too much. The Proposition D is much better than Proposition C. At least we can get more money. Myself, I will congratulate Mr. Jeff Adachi. Well, at least we can save money with Proposition D. With Proposition C, we just it's an inside deal. So it's just about businessmen. Like Ms. Johanna Reed says, 2% or 7%. It's exactly the same. So, Mr. Adachi, I will help you to win your Proposition D. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.